All right, welcome back to Remotely Wasted, the worst show on the internet. We have a new guest with us today, one of our childhood high school friends, Carlos.
Hello,
And
hello.
today we're going to be doing a tier list for the Star Wars movies, TV shows. So just right off the bat, we've kind of put everything that we haven't seen as a collective down in the F tier, as long as all the individual Clone Wars seasons. So we got all the movies, the original trilogy 1 through 3, the new trilogy, the 2 new solo movies, Solo and Rogue One. Got the Mandalorian, the Clone Wars season 1. This is gonna take the place as the Clone Wars movie. Got the Bad Batch, Vision, Star Wars Rebels, and the Book of Boba Fett. I don't think we're missing anything. So if you're new here, like, subscribe. If you have any ideas on future episodes you guys or topics you guys might want to see us cover, drop in the comments, and I'm sure we'll make a video on it. We got nothing else to do.
Oh yeah, we'll make a video on anything.
Yeah, just about anything.
Also, I want to reiterate that we just didn't want to rank every single season of the Clone Wars, so we're not saying we don't like those seasons. We're just ranking the Clone Wars as a whole, as a show, before somebody gets all mad in the comments.
Hey, I think it's I haven't even seen all of the Clone Wars, and I think even if you have, it's kind of hard to differentiate the seasons. Like, I mean, unless you watch it all the time, it's kind of hard to
get like parts of it. Like the first part kind of changes a bit, where it goes from like just random episodes to kind of like arcs. But yeah, that was order.
I just didn't get through it. I got so much stuff to do and like not a lot of time and like other shit I'm watching. Like I'll get to it eventually.
Oh, it's like 6 seasons. It's a lot of show.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
I think I'm in like season 4 somewhere.
I skipped all the filler and just kind of went with like the essential. Like,
I think I'm gonna look up that list because there's a list that tells you all the episodes you just need to watch.
Because that one went by quick when I watched it that way. Now I'm gonna probably go back and watch the filler. But yeah, we could hop into this.
I'll just do that. So
start with episode 1.
All right, I guess just off the bat, first before we even start debating it, what you guys is, S through F, just immediately. What are you thinking?
I'd say my first pick for S tier is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I really liked that when I was younger.
Well, we'll go ahead and just immediately throw them in, and we can just kind of debate them and move them around. Or do you guys want to go one by one?
We could do either way.
Yeah, I think just throw them in.
All right. So you guys think Empire Strikes Back is an S tier show?
Oh,
S tier for sure.
Like the Empire at their strongest.
All right. Episode 1. I'm thinking
like
C.
Yeah, it's like a C tier for me. It's a good movie. It has like one of the best lightsaber fights between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah.
But like it has so much like political like stuff that's essential to the story, but it's so boring.
Okay, episode 2. I think I'm gonna go B here.
I'd say like a low B, a high C. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say like towards the end of the B list is probably where it'd be for me.
Okay. There are good parts that are like besides the action and all, but yeah, it's like a B.
Episode 3, I'm going S tier.
Yeah, I put it S tier for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies.
From that trilogy for sure.
And then this is where we start getting into weird territory for me. Episode 4.
I'm going A tier on that one for me. I don't know where would you put that one, Carlos?
I'd like it is like the first introduction to Star Wars and all, and it's not like as flashy as the other ones because like still building everything up. But I'd
go
like,
B.
I was gonna say high B or like A for that one.
We'll slap it into A for now. All right, Return of the Jedi.
I'd have that like at a C, honestly.
Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. I feel like that's a B for me. Like. It's kind of like wrapping everything up and like, kind of coming back like full power and like they rescue Han in the beginning and all.
I think I'm gonna go B for now.
I think the second Death Star thing is kind of whack. Like, oh, another one.
Force Awakens.
That's like a B to me.
D.
That's B for me.
No, that's a good movie.
You're going B?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's like I remember watching that. I was like, "Oh shit, this is like new Star Wars."
It looks nice. It looks really it looks really good.
No. See, the thing is, everybody loved that movie until the next 2 movies came out, and then they're like, "No, I hate that movie now."
Spoiler, yeah.
The Last Jedi.
Oh, The Last Jedi is like a C to me, or like a high C.
I say High C is a good one.
Yeah, like a high C. It's not great, but it's actually not that bad.
Okay. I can't even remember what the fuck
This one's like an this is an F.
Rise of Skywalker.
I hated the Rise of Skywalker.
For
We'll do D for our worst ones because we have all the
Yeah.
ones we haven't watched in
Yeah,
F.
we'll do D then. Yeah, I did not like that one at all.
Fair. I don't know. It was kind of cheesy to me. And like that like big fight at the end, like there's just people just swinging, not even doing anything. You've like seen like breakdowns of that fight.
Yeah, no,
It really doesn't make any sense. And
They're
then
like fighting the Imperial Guards, and they're just sitting there like swinging and like waiting.
and when like Poe and Finn were about to get killed, then like Hux is like just blasting like on the spire.
not the movie didn't make any sense. Like they're like Palpatine has returned. Like no explanation how he got
You're
there.
like, what? Yeah, it's out of the blue.
No setup in the previous movies. It's just like, yep, he's back. Like
They could have been like whispering or like finding some shit in the first two, like leading up to it.
Like,
see if they hinted it at all in the previous two movies, it would have been fine. But they didn't hint it. They're just like they just panicked and were like, we gotta do something to get the fans on our side.
Yeah, tragic.
brought back fucking what's his name? Billy D. Williams.
Oh yeah. Why can I not Lando?
Lando, yeah. He's all old as hell.
I like Lando. It's a cool character.
Lando's a great character. Now Rogue One, that's S tier.
Bro,
That's S tier for sure.
S-tier, yeah, like that's such a good movie. It's like a standalone one, but it's kind of like hooked into it. Like no Jedi really.
Solo.
Solo's like a D. Or no,
Solo.
these are worse, so I'll put it at a C.
I'd say C. Yeah, like there's parts of it I do like, and I do be defending it sometimes, but it's not like way up there for me.
I'd say B or C, but we'll slap it in C for now.
It's
train-
not terrible. Yeah, we could kind of go back and like
train
go
heist?
over
Yeah,
these in
we'll
detail.
debate them.
Yeah.
Clone Wars TV show as a whole.
That's
S.
an S tier for me,
I'd
for
say
sure.
yes. Yeah. But there's some
Okay.
scenes like when 99 dies. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Mandalorian. No,
That's
S.
an S. Yeah, that's
S.
an S for sure.
Sure. It's like crazy good TV.
The movie.
That's like a C.
movie?
I haven't seen the movie.
I'd say like a C. Yeah.
Just think of it as like an episode of the Clone
There's like a
Wars.
long, like, there's
Just
like
an extended
good,
episode.
good
Yeah.
battle and all, and like there's some spicy shit, but like really it's like Ahsoka just kind of coming up. Yeah, it's not too crazy.
So
The Bad Batch.
you've seen more of it than I have. I haven't seen it enough to rank it. So
Honestly, I feel like the Bad Batch in the end, like the last season of the Clone Wars, they kind of came in, little introduction. I feel like that was a little bit better than most of like the Bad Batch. I feel like it's like a solid C, but nothing too crazy. Like it could honestly be a D, but it's like a good C.
Okay. Visions.
I haven't seen enough of
It's
it to
like-
really
it's
rank
like
it.
Some episodes with like a weak C, but I'd say
What's it
overall, it's a
about?
D. Well, it's like an anthology, so each episode's different, and each
Okay.
episode gets like a new studio to do the animation on it. So like some of them are like
It's like anime style, like
Yeah.
animation.
this
It's
one
a
is
cool
just, like,
idea.
Ronin, yeah. This one he's like his umbrellas like the lightsaber and all, but like yeah, it's like D, I'd say.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, some episodes are good, but
No,
mostly it's a
some are
D.
good. Yeah, I have to show you like maybe one or two of them that are like damn, but
All right. Rebels.
Rebels.
From what I've seen, it's a C, but you've
Yeah,
probably
I'd
seen
say,
more
like,
of
it's a
it.
C. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just like it's a little too like
Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's like a high C,
strong C. Yeah,
like a
or
high
B.
C. Like, yeah, probably B. Let's put it in B.
Okay.
And yeah, like some of those fights were just like people were just
All
dropping.
right.
All right, now looking at these,
we would start from the bottom and work up, or start from the top and work
Say
down.
from the top, yeah.
Okay.
is there anything that anybody has a problem with in the S tier?
No.
I think
Um,
we all agreed on
I,
that.
I think S is like, I think the only one people might have a problem with is like episode 3, because like some people don't like it, but I think just like as a whole, like to me,
I think
like,
for us and our
it's
age,
it's my favorite movie. I remember like this is the only one I've ever seen in theaters. Like I went with my dad, and everybody like was all dressed up in line waiting for tickets, like doing like sword fights. And this is the only movie I've ever been to that's got a standing ovation ever
Really?
in the movie theater. The one in Ponket. Oh, standing ovation.
Wow. I mean, like that movie, like it was like, so if you guys like don't really know us and you're watching, we're all 26. Yeah, you're 26 now. Yeah. So we're all 26. So this movie was like really big in our childhood. So I understand how like some of the older viewers might have like not liked this movie so much, but for us, this movie was like fantastic. And I think it just is really good showing like the transformation from Anakin to Darth Vader.
Oh
I
man,
think it's super cool just
it was-
seeing that
I
happen.
think it was perfect for me. Anakin's my favorite character. Like not Darth Vader, Anakin, and just seeing him fucking like just flip the switch and man goes dark side and
Yeah.
that scene where he's walking up the stairs with the clones behind him was
Oh, yeah.
it gives me the chills thinking about it. Goated scene that whoever designed that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The music in all the Star Wars is really good. But I
And then
think
the Jedi is just getting massacred. Like I
Oh,
cried.
yeah.
I was like,
That's
"What the
insane.
fuck, bro?" I was so mad. Like, I was so mad because I remember the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game. I think was out before this, and playing that game, Kai-Dai Mundi, the Jedi with like the long head. Like he
Mhm.
became like one of my favorites for like no fucking reason. And he got fucking massacred on that one. I can't remember what planet he was on. I think he was on
The
Kashyyyk.
hair.
No, he wasn't on Kashyyyk. He was
Yeah,
on it was like a snowy planet, and he was like on a bridge. I think I can't remember the planet's
Oh
name.
yeah, the thing. You mean Kiadi Mundi?
Yeah, whatever.
Kinda like the tall
Yeah.
hair.
I call him Kaida.
Like the guy with the super like long like
Yeah,
that-
and he's got
yeah.
like a gray goatee.
He's like
he's
he's like a master, right?
Yeah, he's like on the
Yeah.
council.
He's old as shit. I don't know. He was one of my favorites, and then he died too. I was like, God damn.
You know, I think it's underrated, like all the Obi-Wan scenes, because he's like, fuck, man, like I found this kid on Tatooine and kind of promised my master to take who's gonna like train him and all. Now he's trying to do his best. Like they're like more like brothers than like father and son.
That shit
Like,
was
and he
sad.
just, like,
Could you imagine how that would feel like in real life? Like imagine like say like your best friend, like you found this guy, you take him in off the street basically, and like you raise him. You're not incredibly too much older than him, and you become like brothers, and then like dude just betrays you.
like your
like-
master dies to save this kid. And you well, I
And
think
like
it's
say
crazy.
like for example like your dad dies to save this guy that you've brought into your house, and then he turns around and betrays you. Like I couldn't imagine.
And Obi-Wan Loki knew about like Padme and Anakin the whole time, but he had to go tell like Padme, he's like, yo, he's out there killing. kids."
losing it.
She's like,
Went off
no.
the fucking deep end.
I see the Eucharist sees the smoke. He's like, yeah, that's crazy. But yes, like I remember going to like a birthday party, and this kid had like a Grievous like toy, like with like the whole wheel like thing and everything like that. Like Revenge of the Sith was like really crazy back then. Like for me,
A fantastic movie in my opinion. Rogue One, one of the only movies I like remotely remember having like an ending where like they just die, and you're like, what the fuck? I was like so confused. I was like, "There's no way that's the end." And it was so
I kind
good.
of saw it coming, but like I was,
It was-
like, wow.
It was so good. I really enjoy movies that do that.
And what sucked was those characters are so likable. Like they were great
yeah.
characters.
I was
Yeah.
dropping left and right. I'm like, oh man, like
the
that
blind
ending-
guy that like kind of like just believed in the force, but like you weren't like sure, like is this guy got like Jedi
Yeah.
tendencies, or is he just fucking high on his like senses? It was super
The Rogue One
cool,
was so good. Yeah,
very well
Gordon,
done.
Yeah,
That Darth Vader scene at the very end where he's just chopping people down. Like it's so much more like violent than how the A New Hope
Before.
starts. Like
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god, this dude really was like powerful.
yeah. They need to make like a new movie. Aren't they making a Vader movie? I feel like they are.
They're making like a fan made one. And then he was on
That
Obi-Wan,
one.
which was really good.
I
Good
was gonna
series.
say, we didn't put Obi-Wan on this.
It's not even on here. I didn't even see it on here. I
Have
think
you
it's
watched
'cause-
Obi-Wan?
I haven't.
Oh no, you gotta watch Obi-Wan because it's like after Revenge of the Sith, like between Revenge of the Sith.
I'd say
All right,
eight.
Obi-Wan. Where would you put that on here?
Like an A.
Yes,
There were
okay.
some things about it that weren't great, but it was like it was
good.
really, really
It was,
good.
yeah.
And then you get to see like Anakin. He's not like he's still kind of Anakin a little bit, even though he's in the Vader suit. Like, yeah, you love that show.
And there's some shots in that shit. You're like, God damn, this is like just like a Disney show. Like it's like the cinematography is like really good in that.
I think it'd be dope if they made like a Rogue One type standalone movie for just Vader, like
Bro, like, you thought he went crazy in Rogue One. Like you should see him. in
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Dude, there's,
like make it where
two-
he's like they're going and taking over planets, and he's just fucking dropping in hot, like going ham on people. I would be
Dude,
so
he
good.
has a lot of shit in the comics. They could just throw into like shows and all.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot of shit going on. In
They
there.
could make a Mandalorian type show just on Vader. Just
Yeah,
call it
Jedi.
Vader. Money. Send me
Well,
my
the thing with
fucking
Vader
check,
is like
Disney.
you could do Vader shows forever because he's in a mask.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need the same actor. to come back, and you have so much lines from James Earl Jones. You could probably piece them together, and he doesn't need to talk that much. Like
you can make some shit up. Like,
did you hear that he like signed his rights away to the voice of Darth Vader, so they could use all the archive footage or archive like audio of his voice to like keep continuing.
They better have him in a booth like all day long, just recording random lines. Like,
they could like
Hell yeah.
synthesize or some other shit.
because he's old. He's like 90 something. Like he's
Yeah.
he don't got much longer. I shouldn't say
Dude,
that,
he
but
was
he
old
ain't got
age.
much longer.
well, I
he
mean,
was
yeah,
old and
there's no way. It's
coming
not-
to
he's not-
America, the white hair back then.
that dude's
I
like
mean, yeah,
got
I
a
would say strong age.
okay. All right. Anything you guys want to say on Clone Wars?
Oh,
I love the show personally. It's so
fucking
cool.
great show, yeah. It's like there's parts of it that you're like, damn, this shit is brutal, and it's like the warfare they go through. Like, there's some political episodes you're like, oh, it's kind of intriguing, but for the most part, like the show kind of flows late in the later seasons. They have like arcs, and the Mandalorian arc is crazy. They have like the Death Watch. Then Maul comes and takes over and all. Then Obi-Wan has like this girlfriend and all. It's a good show.
I like when the Clone Wars, like you see just more of the Clone Wars, because the Clone Wars fight in episode 2 is like badass. Like I remember they land and they're all running forward. And there's the sandstorm and all you see is like the lasers. It's like D-Day, but for Star Wars. Like that shit got me hard.
Mace Windu jumps in there and chops
Yeah.
off.
And like the
Jango
Clone
Fett's
Wars, like
head.
you get the entire fucking war. It's just dope. Like it's such a cool war.
There's like a arc, like the second invasion of like Geonosis, where they go back down again. Then County Mooney's in there, like his people got flamethrowers and shit. They're fucking burning. It's crazy. Like and then they show like there's like blockades and like the planets, getting starved and shit. And it's like just like the people going to war. Like that show gets pretty deep, like war crimes and all. Like
It's wild, like
it's
to think
underrated.
that you could just blockade a planet
For real.
from
Shit, they're
space.
just trying to run
That's
through
just
it.
wild to think about. Like I mean,
Who
doing that
comes
to
from
Earth
that
like
side?
really wouldn't even do too much, but
No, that's nuts.
wild. Mandalorian, that is a
Oh, bro, so good.
super good, like super good show. That John Favreau and the other guy, I can't remember his name,
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni. They need to let them two make a whatever the fuck they want forever.
Yeah, like
Let them make everything. The movies,
sure.
let them to make everything. Because I think they did the Clone Wars too. If I'm
Yeah,
not
Dave
mistaken.
Filoni was like the creator of like Clone Wars and on. John Favreau, yeah, he wasn't he was like one of the Mandalorians in that show. But yeah, that they're really good creative wise and on. They both have experience like animation wise and like
It's so good. The
like-
story is insane. I can't believe
Acting.
John Favreau was an Iron Man. Like, so weird. Like picturing that guy, and then like seeing this show, you're like, I don't know.
I don't know if you've ever seen Chef before, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
like
It's
oh,
great,
yeah, he's
great
like-
movie.
Right? Fucking Robert
That
Downey
shit made
Jr.
me
is in it.
That shit made
a
me
little bit.
cry.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Made me
Makes
cry.
hungry every time. They got good food in that. But yeah, that movie's like you're like, God damn. He freaks out on that dude. But yeah, Mandalorian's a great show. Like the Bill Burr episodes. Oh man.
Oh, when they put Bill
those
Burr
are
there?
I'm so mad they killed him off. They should have kept him.
No, they didn't kill him.
Did they?
I'm
No, they
pretty sure
let
they.
him go at the end. Remember, because like they
Didn't they
took
lock
him out
him
of
up?
prison.
I could have swore they
and-
killed him.
Well, they locked him up in the first episode. Remember when like he locked him in the ship, and then he went to go like break him out because they needed like to get something off. Like when they went undercover, and Mando took his mask off for the first time in front of like other people.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of it, they're like, "Ah, such a shame he died or whatever." Then he's like, "Oh, fuck off!" And like, "Oh yes, it's a shame." And he just fucking like started dipping.
Like,
Yeah.
I could have sworn he was dead.
It was
Bill
really
Burr being in Star Wars is so weird to me. Like I just never would have thought I would see it.
I used to listen to his podcast all the time, but like I stopped for like maybe a year. But then I see him pop up there. I'm like, damn, if I was still listening to it, I'd probably hear him talking about that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go shoot for this. Like, it was nuts seeing him there the first time.
I think it's cool.
Like
He
the
did-
show is like it definitely fleshes out more of like the grimy part of Star Wars. It's not just all like Jedi and everything.
Yeah. All right. So I think we got these 5 locked. There ain't gonna be too much movement from them.
There's just one in the A.
Episode 4, New Hope.
Yeah, so I think this is a really good one. There's actually not a lot of flaws to it. I just think there's not as quiet like this is the first one, so there's not as much
Yeah.
lore behind it. There's not enough like stuff to tie back into. Like obviously there's prequels and stuff which like enhances this movie, but like this movie on its own, it's really good. I mean, I think it's like I don't know why I don't want to put it in S tier. I just don't like. I don't know
No.
why. What's the
Honestly,
reasoning?
I heard back in the day, like it was crazy. People were lining up and seeing it,
Yeah.
like and this was like the first like Star Wars movie, so like it's spawned all these other ones.
I'm
on,
pretty
like,
sure
it's
there
early
was
back
books out
then.
before the movie came out.
I
So
don't
I'm pretty sure people knew Star Wars before, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
I think between the first and second one, they
Yeah,
might have
I think
released
something
a
like
few
that.
books, but yeah, like this is kind of like I don't know how much
I'm curious.
sci-fi they had going on back then.
I'm gonna look up the first Star Wars book and see if it was even a thing before the movie.
I know there's like a lot of legends between because like that's kind of all they had, and like now it's a lot easier to make like media and stuff. But yeah, for the A New Hope is good. I think S would be maybe a little too much for. I don't know why exactly.
Wait, I'm trying to think of what separates like this movie from being an S tier.
Oh, okay. So, Star Wars from the Adventures of Luke Skywalker is the novelization of the '77 film Star Wars. It was first published in '76, several months before the release of the film.
So yeah, it probably came out like after the trailer, but before the movie.
Kind of hyping it,
to
and
build
getting
some
people.
hype.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think it's like really good, but like nothing really. I mean, like the Death Star does blow up in it and like all that crazy shit, but like no one like really big died. I mean, Obi-Wan, but that's like you just know him for that.
Do you think it's
movie.
because of the lack of Jedi stuff in this movie that it separates it from being S tier?
I like the lack of Jedi stuff almost, but like yeah, I think that kind of.
I'm just gonna say it. I don't like the original trilogy that much. I think Luke is kind of a bitch.
Well,
He's my like one of my least favorite Star Wars characters.
He's a
I do not
North
like Luke.
I do like Luke. He's not my favorite from the original trilogy. I like Han the best.
Oh yeah, everybody
maybe out of like all the characters in Star Wars period, like Han might be my favorite, just because of his like don't give a fuck attitude and just.
Han's a fucking G.
We all know he shot first. Like he's a badass.
Bro, they give a fuck.
See, I think what I think is funny is Luke is a whiny bitch. Like I know what you're saying.
I don't like him.
I think him and Ray are extremely similar, which is why I think
Ray
it's funny.
Is terrible.
That's why I think it's funny people hate Ray. I mean, at least if you hate Ray, you hate Luke. So at least you're kind of like on the same like.
They should have made Leia the Jedi, like flip the role. I think that would have been better because Leia's character is just like better in my opinion.
It's kind of weird how they started.
It could be the actor though. I think if they maybe picked a different actor instead of Mark Hamill, it could have been better. I don't know.
I can't picture anybody else playing Luke.
No, I can't either. But he did a good job.
I think his character was designed to be kind of whiny, but he also gets more mature as the.
like in Return of the Jedi, he's like crazy, like just.
He's a badass by the time we hit the last one.
But you would assume he would be a fucking wise old bat by that point, and fucking like Yoda. But
when you see him in Last Jedi, he's like just done with all that. He's like, man, I tried, but like the Force is some shit.
My Padawans got massacred.
For real.
Luke is I think he's actually like technically the strongest person. Like he's like the best like Jedi in like history or some shit. Like
he's like the strongest Jedi for sure. Yeah.
I still think Yoda would fucking whoop him.
Oh no. No, like Luke, all like Legends Luke and all.
Oh, come on. Yoda was G'd up from the feet up.
Yoda couldn't beat Palpatine.
That's kind of crazy. That's actually kind of crazy to think about when you think that Yoda had like hundreds of years of training.
And this was like
Palpatine probably only had like how old was Palpatine? Like 60?
70, 60 maybe. And he just got fucked up by Mace Windu. Like
Mace Windu almost had him.
Mace Windu is super
Mace
strong.
Windu did have him.
I think Mace Windu's the only one that beat like Yoda in like a duel or some shit. Like he's like second up there, like in the Jedi Order, I feel like.
He didn't die.
Have you seen any of those videos of like when they were shooting that video of Samuel L. Jackson and like because he had no idea like about like what Star Wars even was, and they was like, all right, which lightsaber do you want, like type shit, and then they was like asking him like what color he wanted, and he was like, I want purple, and like they made an exception for Mace Windu, like they made his lightsaber purple.
Yeah, I think he was like, I want it to be purple so I could see my lightsaber like amongst all the other lightsabers. And
I think they wanted to give him just a blue one, and he was like, I want purple. I'm pretty sure that's how it shook out.
Yeah,
I'd get yellow. Honestly, yellow's a pretty like crazy color for that.
There's like a lot of cool lore in between like the colors of the lightsabers. Like I think like white is like people like the Jedis that are like no longer like associated with Jedis that are kind of like I'm not expelled, but like they're kind of just like excommunicated, if I'm not
Like
mistaken.
gray Jedi.
Doesn't Ahsoka have a white one in like Rebels?
Was she like?
She's got one in the Mandalorian.
She
like,
like
when
an
she pops
Inquisitor?
in.
Mm.
Like the Sith like bleed it and turn it red. Well, like she like purified it, but then it got no color no more, so it's just white. So
I'm
I
gonna
think
look
that's
that
how
up
they
real
did it.
quick.
It's like a purified kyber crystal for the white ones.
And I
Not
think
the-
the yellow ones are like the like guards for the Jedi Temple, if
The
I'm not mistaken.
Sentinels, yeah. Like green's like more like fighting Jedi, and I heard like blue is like more like sports kind of Jedi.
All right, let's
Purple's
see here.
dope.
Mm.
The black ones just look so good.
Oh yeah, the dark saber.
They look so good. All right, where is
Like
this
actually a
at?
blade. It's not just like a round circle on there.
I just remember like being like super heavy for him to lift.
Yeah, he cut himself.
All right, so blue it signifies justice, truth, and serenity. Okay. Green represents growth, harmony, and nature. Red symbolizes anger, strength, and determination. Purple, nobility, royalty, and wisdom. Yellow represents the power of the sun, hope, and goodness. Oh, there's an orange one. Denotes ambition, creativity, and resourcefulness. Silver connotates purity, peace, and serenity. This is not what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. So blue and green, when it comes to the Jedi Order and the Sith, blue and green lightsabers are the most common. Blue has always been associated with positive qualities like truth and serenity, while green represents growth and harmony. However, there are other colors of lightsabers that hold significant meaning. Luke Skywalker is a notable holder of the green, while Anakin uses a blue one. Red, often associated with Sith or Dark Jedi. Okay, purple, Mace Windu. He's the only Jedi to ever wield a purple lightsaber and is considered one of the wisest members of the Order. Yellow, all pretty rare. They represent the power of the sun. Da da da. Oh, okay. Ahsoka wields a yellow lightsaber to symbolize her new role as a leader and protector. It's not white.
She have a yellow one.
Was it on the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
She did that dope shit where she said,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Orange, Jedi Master Luminara Unduli is known for her orange lightsaber. I don't remember her having an orange one.
She got a green one. This is Cap.
Silver. In episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan uses a silver lightsaber when he faces off against his former opponent, Darth Vader. Does he really? I'm pretty sure that was blue.
You don't use no fucking silver one. That's a lie. That's a damn lie. They're both blue, yeah.
All right, who the fuck wrote this? Next website.
Corrupted, yeah.
Let's check this one out.
Bro, like, yeah, I don't know who wrote that. Who sabotaged this?
I'm pretty sure it was blue. Or is this one of those fucking
Nah, it ain't a Mandela effect. They both have blue. I swear to God, if you pull this up and it's like a silver lightsaber.
Oh yeah. So like the blade? No way. Because yeah,
they lose my fucking mind if that shit is silver.
That'd be nuts.
I swear to God, if he has a silver lightsaber, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
I can see it right there in the thumbnail. It's blue.
Okay, hell yeah, it's blue.
Unless it changes like mid-fight, but I'm pretty sure it's still blue.
Yeah, I want to top off my left pinky. Nah, that's close. So the tip of my finger, if it's silver, bro.
Yeah,
that's blue.
Okay, so notable people for blue, which is like Jedi Guardians. You got Obi-Wan, Anakin, Cal Kestis, Kanan Jarrus, Rey. Green Jedi Consulars. You got Qui-Gon, Yoda, Luke, Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka. Red, Darth Vader, Darth Sidious, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, Kylo Ren. Purple, Mace Windu, Jaina Solo, and Revan.
Oh, Revan.
Yellow, Jedi Sentinels. You got Rey, Jedi Temple Guards, Asajj Ventress, Luke, and Bastila Shan. The fuck does Luke have a yellow one?
Probably in like Legends and the books or something.
She's in Legends too.
White, Ahsoka, and Fel Emperor Imperial Knights. Black, the true ruler of Mandalore. Din Djarin, Darth Maul, Prey Vizsla, Moff Gideon, Sabine Wren.
It's like doing that static shit.
Interesting.
I hate that shit.
I know.
All right, moving on.
That was bad over here, but no, yeah, the dark saber's crazy. Revan has like a purple one and like.
I just like how it has like a white outline around it too. It makes it pop.
Yeah.
Looks nice. All right, we'll move on to our B tier. Episode 2. I feel like this one could be debated moving either up or down, or even maybe even staying.
I would move it more.
A lot
if
of
I was
people
going
hate
to-
this movie.
I hate part of it, but like the
ending
big battle like
is
is what saves
so
it for
good.
me.
Yeah.
But the stupid love story between Anakin and Padme, it
Yeah.
is necessary for the story, but it is so cheesy the way
It's very
they
cheesy.
the way they build it up.
I could see it staying B or going down, but like I don't think it can be going up.
I think the little is this the one where they're fighting on Naboo as well?
That's the Phantom
Is that,
Menace.
is that number 1? Okay.
Yeah,
that's
this is
fair.
like the sand planet, like where all the Jedi come and everything and try to save them.
I think the
I feel
other
like
another cool part is when like you got Anakin and Padme, they're like tied up to the fucking rocks and those big monsters
Yeah,
come
I was
out.
about to
Oh, and I
say,
think
dude.
Obi-Wan's there too. And then like is C3PO getting like moved down that assembly line? Like
Yeah, and he gets put
No,
on a
yeah,
droid's
that's-
like
yeah,
body.
that-
that's like a
was
cool
good.
scene too.
Padme looked hot
Um,
as fuck in that scene too.
Yeah, she did.
That always.
She got that random scratch for no fucking reason, just to like make her look even more hot.
Hell yeah. They knew what they was doing.
Is it necessary? They're like, fuck yeah. You're
I mean, I'm good for leaving it a B.
Yeah, I think it deserves B. I mean,
I don't
The-
think it does
the-
enough to move it up.
Django Fett when he fought Obi-Wan. Like that was pretty.
that was pretty cool. Like this movie
On
is like
what was that planet?
Camino.
Camino, yeah.
this
The
movie
Camino-
like, it has so much potential to be great, but they just like
If it wasn't for like the
they fucked up a few things. Like the
I hate
shit.
sand.
The first half of the movie kind of is what kills it a little
A
bit.
little boring.
Could have been great. Could have been an A, but I think B is appropriate for it. I know a lot of
Okay.
people hate it. I know a lot of y'all old people in the comments probably hate it.
I think the
But-
back half and the battle
good.
scene carry it to a B.
Also, the
That-
Clone
that
Wars
battle
cartoon like enhances this movie and makes this movie so
Oh,
much
yeah.
better.
I'd give it a strong B.
Okay.
Yeah, it went
Um,
from low B to strong B, so it had a little bit of movement.
It did push it to an A, so all right. You know, actually, before we move on, we'll rank these from
Ooh.
in the S's. So what do you think would be the number one
I'd
in the
say
S
Empire
tier?
Strikes Back for sure for me.
I would actually like the way they're ordered right now is probably how I'd leave it.
There's,
Yeah.
no.
For me, yeah.
I would move.
Actually, no, Clone Wars above Rogue One for me, but Rogue One over.
Yeah, I'd move Clone Wars above Rogue One.
I think I'd go something like that. Me
I probably
personally.
have Mandalorian last out of this list, but I think it's really
Really?
good. It's last of the
I'd say
best, so it's a good spot.
I was thinking
Really?
Rogue One and Mandalorian are close,
Yeah.
but Mandalorian's got to go.
I would have Empire Strikes Back, then Revenge of the Sith for sure. That'd be like top two.
Those are great movies.
All right. What about maybe something like that?
I think Clone Wars more than Mandalorian. Like Clone Wars has like once you've seen all the Clone Wars and like you get like the just like
I could
there's a lot-
go either way on these two.
There's a lot of Anakin's growth in it, like how he turns to the dark side, and like there's just
Okay.
one like like it's good. Then like they set up the Bad Batch, like it's really good. I think better than like,
Any
it's
any
really-
qualms with this lineup here?
See, I personally I'd probably have Rogue One at 3, but that's just my
And then
thing.
slide these two down.
Yeah.
I'd say Rogue One 4 because like the Mandalorian is really really good, but like it's not so far.
And it's also not complete. Yeah, so it's hard to rank it.
All right, that's fair.
But
fair.
I could see it surpassing depending on what they do with it in the next season.
Clone Wars just has
Fair.
like way more seasons to like go down and like to Rogue.
Okay. Yeah, I like this.
I like
Once we finish talking and maybe move some of these, then we'll do
Yeah.
the same for B and then C. Return of the Jedi.
So this is, to me is easily the weakest of the original trilogy.
But
Yeah.
wait, yeah.
Would you
okay.
agree with
I'd
that?
say so. Yeah.
So there's a lot of good things about this movie though. Like this is like a really good movie. So you got the whole like throne room fight between Luke and Vader where Vader saves Luke and throws the Emperor down the fucking
Stairs?
the whatever the thing is. He throws him in that
Sure.
thing. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'll be back. Kids
All
awake.
right, we'll keep it going for you.
Like this is when they get Han back out of Carbonite, right? They roll up to like Jabba's palace and like everyone's in disguise and they're gonna like kill him.
Yeah, at the
Or no,
beginning.
first- yeah, no, yeah. No, Return of the Jedi is definitely the weakest of the original trilogy, but I think it's above like a few other of the movies that are on the list for sure. But yeah, not the best of the trilogy.
Well, since Jaden's busy right now, we'll rank these movies, so we could kind of go over our list while we're waiting on him, like what we actually rank the whole thing as. I'll go first. Oh, actually, we go back. It'll probably take a minute. But what did you have as your last place
My
one?
last place, bro, Phantom Menace. So like when you guys put it, yeah. So and it's crazy because like there's such good scenes in it, but for me, like there's just too much like not good enough in it. Like
No, I get what you mean. I had the Rise of Skywalker last as my last one, but Phantom Menace, I can see why somebody would have it low. What was your second to last? Like number 10.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Okay, I had Solo at number 10.
Solo's
I do like Solo. Actually, I don't like it. I think it's okay. It's watchable. I like the Rise of Skywalker. I might never watch that movie again.
You know, yeah, I saw it again like not like recently, not so great, but you know what I could say? I could say maybe instead of Phantom Menace being the last one, I could maybe give it more than Rise of Skywalker. Because at least Phantom Menace had like some really good scenes and like the music in it, like when I'd say okay, all right. Newton, Rise of Skywalker very, very last, Phantom Menace 10. And yeah, Solo 9.
You had Solo at 9. I had Phantom Menace at 9, so it didn't make it that far up my list.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace, great action scenes. It sets up a lot of things. There's a lot of cool things about it, like
The Starfighters in Naboo were really cool, really simple things. But like you got like a young slave kid going out and fighting on it. Like
they should have started Anakin out like as a teenager, but they started him out as a kid. Which I mean, I know the kid actor caught like a lot of shit. Like that's stupid. I mean, he's just a kid actor. I don't know why people like bullied him to the point where like he doesn't do movies anymore. Like that's really stupid.
Drug problems and arrested and all. Yeah, like come like they didn't choose the script. They're just acting and all. They can't like even Hayden Christensen, the whole sand thing. Like yeah, that's just fucking terribly acted, but like they weren't directing it. They couldn't like choose like what to fucking say and everything. But yeah, it could have been better.
Number 8, what you got?
8, Last Jedi, and I like the Last Jedi.
Ooh, I got Return of the Jedi.
When I was going like towards these last, where did I got Return of the Jedi? Oh, I got fucking Return of the Jedi high. But like when I was getting towards the last ones, I was feeling like I was like, damn, these are all like really good. So like even the last place ones are gonna be kind of like I really like them. But yeah, that was Last Jedi for me.
Yeah, I would say like Rise of Skywalker, Solo. Like Rise of Skywalker, I hate. Solo, I just think is like all right. And then like from Phantom Menace and up, I pretty much like all of them just to varying degrees. So at 7, you had Last Jedi at 8.
Last Jedi 8.
Yeah, I had Return of the Jedi at 8, but I had Last Jedi at 7. I almost wanted to put it higher, but I was like, this movie's really good. I debated putting it above Attack of the Clones because that's what I had at 6. And I was like, which one should I do?
You know, it's funny. My 7 is like higher than my 4. But like I was like, yeah, no, like it is good because my 7 is A New Hope, and we have it like as an 8. Because like it's like good, but it's starting out, the whole Star Wars thing. Like there wouldn't be any of this if it wasn't for that one and all. But it's like it doesn't lack a lot. It's a really good movie, but it's just like you said, there's not a lot of flaws in it. But for me, there's not just like a whole lot happening. The fact that there's like 2 movies after, and then all these other movies after, it makes it like, oh, okay, good. But it feels like just like the standalone movie.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the attachment to the characters yet, I think is the big deal. And like Jaden was saying, Luke does come off extremely whiny in that movie.
There's an old man, these 2 robots, fucking Han and Leia. Leia's kind of a fucking bitch, if I'm being honest. Sorry, lady, but like you weren't making like he was trying to get saved. Aren't you a little too short to be a stormtrooper? I'd be like, all right, bitch, don't you want to stay here?
Come in here to rescue you, and this is how you treat me.
I do kind of like a little shout out to that fucking Family Guy Star Wars episode. Those ones were funny. Like those are dumb, but like, they're funny. Like kind of remind me of Star Wars. Yeah, but what'd you get for 6?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
It's a good movie. I couldn't put it in my top 5. Like I didn't think it was that good. Like we just kind of explained like the flaws in it. What did you have at number 6?
For 6, I had The Force Awakens because like I was telling like I was saying there, like it really like. For me, like it's up there because like the high hopes I had for the movie when it was coming out. I remember we were going to go see that in theaters. That's what I had that cut from like
we saw it like the night it came out.
Yeah, that was a good movie. But like I just remember thinking it was like so good. Like there's parts I could definitely like if I watch it again, I could be like, oh yeah, these two things were bad. But like, I really liked when it came out. Like they did kind of like drop the ball the next few ones, I'd say. But like, see, that's like the last one that's like of like that last trilogy. Fucking Last Jedi's 8, Rise of Skywalker's 10. So that was definitely the best of that. But I'm that's a 6 for me.
See, I have The Force Awakens at 5. So like watching that movie the first time, it was good. Like that movie, like you can't tell me that movie wasn't good if you're just looking at it as that movie by itself.
You see, I had it 5, but then when I remember I said I moved one up, and then I had to like move everything back again.
Yeah, The Force Awakens, man, I don't understand why people like hate it. I mean, nobody actually hated that movie when it first came out. Everybody liked that movie, and then people hated The Last Jedi, and then they're like, "Oh, I hate The Force Awakens." But no, everybody liked it. Quit lying. Everybody liked it that night.
Like, look at that poster, dude. I remember seeing that. I'm like, yeah, this is like the first Star Wars that I'm like gonna go like see as like, not that I don't remember the other ones, but like, I'm like an adult, gonna go see these like in the theaters and all. Like I never went to like a Star Wars premiere or anything. Like it was good. Like just seeing this poster, I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of crazy. Kylo Ren, the crossguard lightsaber and all. Like, Finn has a lightsaber in that poster, and that kind of pisses me off because like, later he don't fucking do nothing.
Yeah, see, the trailer made it look like Finn was the main character, which is kind of annoying because what more annoys me is we could just go to this whole like trilogy, kind of up on a tangent for a minute. They set Finn up, he was so cool in the first movie, and then they just like diminish his role each movie to where the last movie he's basically just like a side character.
Yeah.
And like Finn was a great character that they completely wasted. Like he was so good in that first movie, and then they just made him less and less. But
you know how I think they treated him? Like he was, I'd say like in A New Hope, you know how Chewbacca was in the gang? Well, by Return of the Jedi, they kind of had Chewbacca still in the movie, but they kind of had him doing his own thing, kind of like he's like, oh, he rescued C-3PO and he like got all his parts all together and all, but like Finn's still alive, so they can't just like not show him, but they're not really giving him a whole bunch to do. Like in the what was it, the Rise of Skywalker, they had him like go find those other like stormtroopers that like when AWOL too, you're like, oh, what are the fucking odds of this? Like, no, they threw that in way too late. They should have put that in like second movie.
See, what I think would have been great is if like that's kind of fucked up. But like if Finn would have actually like sacrificed himself at the end of Last Jedi, like he was going to before Rose hit him, that would have been such a great moment.
And then like Ray showed up, she's like, well, where's Finn? He's like, oh, he's over there. And over there, and over there, like he got splattered, and she would like fought even harder and all. She's like, for fucking for Finn. But yeah, that was my 6 was The Force Awakens.
So what did you have at 5?
5 is Rogue One. And yeah, like it was so good when I was gonna see that. Like Jyn Erso, like the first scene, like when Krennic's like there with and Jyn's dad, and he's like, come on, we're gonna go. And he's like, nah, I'm not trying to do this, man. Like he's really trying to like, I mean, that's like the Empire. That's like, I like Rogue One because it showed like the darkness of the Empire. Like they'll go to like to what, and they're they're in control of all these where they can just show up, do whatever the fuck they want, leave, because who they're gonna report to? The fucking people in charge. Like, well, they report to the fucking them. So like they could just roll up and do whatever. And like they were, he used to work with them, so he killed the wife, would try to kill the kid and all, then had him go work for him. Then he like built in that like, because I was like, back in the day, people were like, oh, that one flaw, how are they gonna leave that one flaw on the thing? Well, like he built that into it and all. And then Cassian Andor, like I think he was a pretty good character. He was Mexican, you know that?
I can see it now that you said that. I didn't know that until like you said it, but now I see it. Like
it was random. There's like Conan, he did like some Conan in Mexico thing, and like he was on there, like, oh, from the new Rogue One. I'm like, this fucking dude. I don't know his name, but like I'm like, oh, he has like some weird accent in like some weird Star Wars accent. He's Mexican. I can tell.
It's the light skin, like me.
I was like, oh, you got this dude in this Star Wars movie. I'm like, how the fuck did you hear about Star Wars movie? Yeah, Rogue One was my 5. What was your 5?
My 5 was Force Awakens, and Rogue One was my 4. I feel like we like. You have one at like lower, and I have it like just like the next to higher.
You know what took my 4? Because Rogue One was 4 and Force Awakens 5. 4 for me was Clone Wars, because I recently watched it, and Dooku really is really underrated in that movie. I feel like,
but like Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Oh fuck yeah!
I was like,
Clone Wars. Yeah. Attack of the Clones. No, like that movie. Attack of the Clones is like there's some parts of it like it's not moving up to A for me. but like it's number 4 in my book for sure. Because like just favorite wise for me, I think there's like some scenes in it, like now, especially like now that I'm older, like watching it, it's like damn, like this is some good. It fucking Padme, like you were saying in that.
Man, she was looking so good in that movie. Like that whole white outfit, she gets like those cuts in it, man.
I think Loki. I think that's like where I got my love for brown haired women. I was like, yo, fuck them blonde. Like this brown hair is where it's at.
Man.
What was your 4?
My 4 was Rogue One, which like Rogue One's a really good movie. We kind of discussed it, like the Darth Vader scene at the end, just the seeing how like the sheer like size of the Death Star, they make it look so much bigger than they do on the original trilogy.
There's a lot of scenes in Star Wars like when like there's like a big planet where there's like a ship coming out that's like look huge or something. I'm like, it's crazy like to see the scale. You ever see those videos where it's like the like Star Wars ships like compared up to real life? They show like life like skyscrapers. Then like the Vader's Death Star is like bigger than Manhattan. Like, bro, getting invaded would be nuts. Like, oh, I would not be able to handle it.
Yeah, like the Death Star, like it's like its own, like it's probably bigger than like a city. Like it,
You see how many like people died like when they hit like 1 million or like 2 million or some shit. Like,
yeah, it's like it's like the size of New York, basically.
I like seeing all these other like all the new shows and books and everything because like they kind of like in the games like it kind of like spreads out like all like the movies. Remember in Mandalorian when that one shock trooper, he's like, oh, I fucking loved it when they blew up your planet. And she's like, oh, fuck you, man. She's like, fuck your planet. Like 1 million people died on there. She's like, that was that's like a weapon though. Like, so it's like damn, bro, like a bunch of people died on the Death Star, but they were like, fucking bad. Well, not everyone was bad. Some people were like, the janitors and like the cafeteria.
Yeah, I mean, well, and a lot of people watching the Clone Wars and stuff, you see the transition from like the Republic to the Empire. So a lot of those people, I think, were under the impression that it was still like kind of a good place. So I don't think everybody on there was bad, and I think some of the villains are a little bit more like in a gray area. Than like like obviously like Darth Vader and like the Emperor, just like pure evil. But like, would you consider Tarkin like evil? I don't know if I consider him evil, just not the best person. Like he's bad, but like
this is other channel on YouTube where there's like a little thing is humanity first. Like I think he's just like he's like, no, fuck them aliens, man. He's like he's like
so he's a racist, essentially.
I feel like he's xenophobic, yeah, because like he fucks with Thrawn because like Thrawn's just like like super good, but he's like, yeah, fuck these, like we're getting rid of the clones, they're too expensive, we're gonna just train like regular humans that are already born. And he's like, I think he's just trying to do the bit. You haven't seen Naruto. You seen Naruto, he's like the Danzo of like to the Hokage and shit. Like he's kind of like the he's saying, like he's like, I'm the water and the roots, like making the tree, grow and all. Like he's doing shit that's like needed to be done. But yeah, the Empire, they don't really fuck with like aliens like that. But Tarkin, like you remember the Clone Wars, like the episodes, like when he was getting rescued, he was being a dick to Anakin. He's like, oh, fucking about time. No, I think he.
Yeah, no, he's pretty bad now that you're saying all this. Like, yeah, he's an asshole.
Well, in the comics, he was like born in this like crazy planet, like where they have to like survive. Like their rite of passage is like they'll throw you out there. If you don't survive, they're like, oh fuck, it's like covered in scars and all this shit. But like,
I'd say like most of like the top ranking people in the Empire are like pretty shitty.
In the comics, there's the dude that pushed like the button for like the Death Star. He got like fucking depression, dude. He got like, he's just started drinking. He's like, oh man, all those people, like he would go like I think he killed himself. Like most of the people are just like,
yeah. I mean, he blew up a whole planet. So what did you have at number 3?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi. So like, it's definitely the weakest of those, but like, I fuck with like the original trilogy higher than like probably more than anything, just because like I think I fuck with them more. It's like a mix between that and then like like Attack on the Clones and all that.
So you went more just like off of like you personally like personal enjoyment. So like you think the other movies are better, but you actually like that one more. Like
this tier list, I'm going like what's better, and then this list here is like what I like. But yeah, this tier list, I think I'm going off of like what's the better movie. But like for my personal enjoyment, I like Return of the Jedi. Because like they used to have like these fucking marathons. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, I used to like watch them and like Return of the Jedi. I remember like being like the last one. I'm like, all right, last one. I can't usually stay at this late when I was a kid and all. So like I remember that being real cool. That was my three. What was your three?
A New Hope. I do think it's a really fun movie. Like when you watch it, like same way, like so like The Force Awakens like is kind of like a remake of A New Hope. And I think they're both like super fun movies just from the fact that like in A New Hope, like you see fucking C3PO and R2D2 get sent off in the pod, and then you just kind of follow, like the story just kind of goes from there. Like they end up with Luke, and then Luke ends up with Obi-Wan, and then they find Han, and then they end up at the Death Star and they save Leia, and it just kind of flows really good. I think that's why I like it so much, is the way it flows. Like it's just like a really straightforward story, and it's really fun. Like we were kind of saying, it's just like it's missing just something that prevents it from being like S tier.
They do show, I think, in the small amount of time they do show, like they do show that the Empire is like strong, you know, like that whatever they're trying to do, like they're getting attacked by the Empire. There's stormtroopers everywhere searching for them and all. Like they're I think in like the later movies they're a bigger threat, but I think they show that pretty good, that it's hard for them to get on. They have to like smuggle themselves out, and like they're having trying to, like Obi-Wan, like no connects. He's having to go to fucking Han Solo and Chewbacca to try to get out there. Some smugglers.
All right, Daddy's back.
Looks like we got Jaden back. We'll quickly do like our 2 and 1.
Yeah, what was
So like 2 I had Revenge of the Sith, and 1 I had
same.
Empire Strikes
Same.
Back. So we had the same 1 and 2.
Empire Strikes Back.
We went over just like our personal like rankings of the like.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you guys want to move any of these?
I think we were Force.
I think I put The Force Awakens. Well, actually, you really like Return of the Jedi, and I don't think Jaden fucks with The Force Awakens like that.
I really enjoy like the look and feel of it. Like it looks really good. I just don't like the new trilogy saga like story.
No, see, I
bad.
The new trilogy, like it wasn't cohesive. Like the movies didn't really go together. It felt like 3 movies that weren't really that connected. So that's kind of like,
and the characters were kind of bad too.
Well, see, I was just talking about how like Finn on the first movie was such a great character, and then they wasted him. The next
they should have made him
movies.
the Jedi. Fuck Rey.
Yeah, I was saying they have him on the poster with the lightsaber. He fights Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren kind of trash for not being able to fight like Finn.
Yeah, how did Finn like stand a chance with
Stormtrooper.
Kylo, and then he didn't end up being a Jedi? Like he had to have been Force sensitive. Like there's no way.
That would have even been a cool thing. Rey and Finn be Jedis.
Well, you remember like
Bada bing, bada boom.
I gotta tell you something, and then he's like, "I'll see you later." Like apparently he was gonna tell her like, "Hey, I think I'm fucking Force sensitive," because like he can kind of tell that when Rey was like dead or whatever the fuck.
They wasted
Like,
Finn.
I think they
Finn
did
was a
that.
great character.
I think they did that because of the Chinese audience.
Oh yeah, who was that one girl that he?
I'm pretty sure that's
Well, because
I'm
like
pretty
they're racist.
yeah. They don't want a black
wasn't
person
in-
being a
He
Jedi.
wasn't in a lot of the trailers for the. I mean, a lot of the posters over there in China, they just like
Yeah.
took him off. Oh, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's why.
That Black Panther did not do well at all over there.
Yeah, that whole trilogy, man. I mean, like the whole thing with like Kylo and Rey, like towards the end, was so weird and unnecessary. Snoke was set up to be like a really
Yeah,
cool
Snoke
villain.
was a
They
bum.
They wasted him. Like he could have had a cool story, and
Yeah.
he could have like they could have set him up to like he could have fought, he could have pulled a lightsaber out and stuff. But they just wasted him completely, and then they threw Palpatine in without any hint of him being in there. Like it would have been cool if Palpatine showed up, like with some setup behind it.
Yeah, I did like Adam Driver's like as
He was good.
as Kylo Ren. I think he did a pretty good job.
I think all of the cast actually did good. It was the script really that ruined them. Like I think Daisy Ridley was great. I think
I think Han Solo was like kind of ham.
who's Finn? What's the actor's name? John Boyega.
John Boyega. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I liked all the Oscar is it?
Daisy Oscar Isaac, wasn't that
Oscar
Daisy
Isaac.
Ridley's like first movie or something?
Yeah, Daisy Ridley's a good actress. They just kind of gave her like a bad trilogy to put her in.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good trilogy to start. Star Wars trilogy. Like, I'd take it.
But all the fans like hate these like they've ran these actors off of social media and stuff. It's really like immature. Like there's a bunch of grown men like whining about like a kids movie. It's like grow up.
When you hear John Boyega,
It's not a kids movie, Nick.
Somebody's gonna be attacking me.
Yeah, fuck Nick. In the comments, spit on him.
Address.
Yeah. I'll put it on Twitter.
So the Book of Boba Fett. I almost you want to move it down? I almost want to move it down.
That's going to see for sure.
Yeah, we got to move the
Can't have
Boba
Force
Fett down.
Awakens, Return of the Jedi, and Attack of the Clones, and then Book of Boba
So
Fett.
you guys don't want to change the. You want to keep them B?
Yeah, I think we'll keep all
All
this.
right. What order would you want to put these?
I'd say Return of the Jedi over Attack of the Clones, is because for me, because it just has like more like no fluff. It's just like kind of straight to it. It like rescue all that shit. Like it's
yeah,
good.
I think this is. A fair
I mean, like I
alignment.
personally like the Force Awakens better than Attack of the Clones, but I mean, I'm cool with this order.
I think the last two could switch places and I'd be fine with either order. But yeah, Return of the Jedi first.
Yeah, I'm cool with the order though.
Right.
Should have watched that.
So the Phantom Menace, we were kind of roasting that movie when you got up, because we went through our list and like because we made like a ranking list.
Yeah.
And like he had the Phantom Menace like dead last. I didn't have it dead last. I had it like third to last.
Damn. So it's probably going down here somewhere.
I don't think it should move to B though.
There's very good scenes in it, but like it doesn't say the whole movie. Like, oh, Anakin's gonna go to that. Like,
It is the first one though.
Yeah.
Darth Maul is one of the best
Darth Maul's
villains.
one of my favorite characters in the Star
so
Wars
good.
universe,
Like-
if not my favorite. Like him and Anakin, it's hard to like pick one. I wish they wouldn't have killed him off.
Have you
and
seen
he
him in the
got
Clone Wars?
Well,
at
he's
all?
in the Clone Wars. Like it's
I've
crazy.
I've seen him a little bit.
Oh man, he's there a lot. Like him and his brother, like it's
Savage.
yeah.
I thought his name was Savage.
Bro, you me too.
I think I remember that because
God.
doesn't fucking Ventress go to that planet that they're from and like they make them like fight
Yeah.
each other to find the strongest one and he's like just fucking yoked and a beast. That's his
No,
brother.
he's like regular, but they do like some magic, and then like he kind of gets like fucking beefed up, and then like his horns get all fucking he gets all horny and shit, you know? Yeah, and then like
Okay.
he's like, no, it's so no that shit's so good. Asajj in it. There's a book with Asajj and this one dude in it. Quinlan Voss, you know, like that dude with the yellow stripe on his face paint. Like that looks not that bad. They were gonna make it. It's actually a few Clone Wars episodes that they never like made, so they just made it into a book. It's pretty fucking good.
Have you guys watched Tales of the Jedi?
No, you told me about that though.
Yeah, you guys gotta check that one out. Like
What's the Dooku?
it shows like Dooku turning to the dark side, like when he was still a Jedi and stuff.
What's it on?
It's on Disney Plus. It's like a cartoon, like kind of like same animation style as the Clone Wars, but it's like the stories aren't like super connected. They're kind of just their own thing. And it
Or
kinda
One
shows-
Pieces?
Yeah, I mean, like the Dooku ones are kind of connected, but not much. So I mean, you could watch them in any order and you'd be fine. It follows like Dooku and Ahsoka for the most part
Yeah.
are the two they show. But yeah, it shows like Dooku like switching like to the dark side. So it shows him as a Jedi, which is really cool. Like, he has like a blue lightsaber and stuff, and he's younger. It's just like it's a super cool.
I think Dooku's got kind of like one of the coolest lightsabers. It's almost like a fencing, like he's got like a
curve.
fencing style, like to me.
Yeah,
I like
like
it.
I remember in like the comics, you're just like, why the fuck do you have like a lightsaber specifically to fight other lightsaber people? He's like, oh, no fucking reason. That's why.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Like, we all
What's
like-
up?
Yeah.
You want fucking let's get it.
That cool little like spike thing underneath. Like no, that if I could get a lightsaber, it would probably be Dooku's. Like his is fucking dope.
It's cool. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
yeah,
So we talked about the first one, The Last Jedi.
So that was a controversial movie for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as bad as people said it was.
I could even see it being D.
I don't think it's that. I think it's actually kind of good. I think
I definitely don't think it would be leading the front on this tier though.
it'd be more in the middle. I don't think it's like the worst one out of this.
We'll
tier.
slide it here for now.
I think it's gonna be hard to like this tier's gonna be hard to organize.
Yeah.
See, I think
Well,
the last
for
Jedi
me,
was
I haven't seen,
borderline a good movie.
I haven't seen 3 of the things in this tier, or 4. I've seen
think
Solo,
The
The Last Jedi, and Episode 1.
Row.
I kind of want to move Solo down to D. Now that we've like
Solo's
looked at
like
it,
D. Yeah, we're giving too much gas.
like
It's it's D.
so
It's
the
not
thing
great.
with the thing with Solo is like Donald Glover killed it as Lando. That was a great performance.
Very good casting.
He was a perfect casting. I mean, the guy that played Han wasn't even that bad.
Beckett.
Yeah,
No,
he wasn't too bad.
yeah.
So like Solo was like a really good like action suspense movie, but it wasn't a good Star Wars movie. Like
Yeah, I felt kind of just like a sci-fi.
I like the train scene. That was kind
but
of
the
cool.
train scene was so
That train
fucking
scene was badass.
good.
That's like the most memorable thing about the movie.
Oh yeah.
but there's a
don't
lot of
remember-
like unnecessary stuff in the movie. The movie itself was kind of
Mhm.
unnecessary. Like who asked for a Han Solo
He
like
gives the
movie?
shit. Yeah.
There's so many other characters they could have done like original movies on. Yoda.
Obi-Wan show way back then. Where
Yeah, Obi-Wan to begin with.
Yoda would be awesome, but I kind of like the mystery of like not knowing where Yoda came from.
Yeah.
But if they did make a Yoda movie or something, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I'd like to see him, I think, more like being part of like the team, like other Jedi when he was like younger and all. 'cause,
In his
like,
prime.
yeah.
Who's to say when he wasn't leading the Jedi Council, that's his prime.
I feel like
Always
I mean like
fun.
his physical prime, that's gotta
King.
be like when he was like I think he was like close to 1,000 and like when he died.
Yeah, because right now he's like, like
He's probably
Jedi
like
Master
500 in
and
his
I think the
prime.
cane was like part of his cover. You're like, oh, this fucking guy, and then he drops that shit. You're like, oh,
honestly
Okay.
him kind of not in his prime almost when he's kind of getting beat. He's kind of have to get saved almost like from some people. He's kind of have to work together instead of he's like, I fucking got this.
He has some really cool arcs like at the end of the Clone Wars, like into season
Mhm.
6. Like he goes on these like kind of cool adventures. Like he kind of sees like the fall of the Jedi and stuff. Like he has a really cool arc towards the end of season 6 of the Clone Wars.
Qui-Gon calls to him.
don't fucking
that's how
spoil it for me, all right?
Yeah,
Shut up,
he-
Carlos. Shut
he
up.
died. He dies.
Quit being a nerd and start watching them, guy.
I'll spit in your
It's
face.
honestly, it's like a long show, but Clone Wars is definitely good, like a show worth watching.
I got a whole ass
throughout.
toddler, infant. All right.
Hey, she'll fucking like it. She'll love it.
Yeah, she does watch TV. She loves TV.
Dude, Ahsoka will be her
It's
best
weird.
friend. Yeah. Clone Wars movie though, I think it's got to be like either the
That might go to
or
D.
down
That
to
might go to
D.
D.
Yeah.
Actually, like thinking
It's-
about
Put it
it.
here for now.
good,
Do you think
but-
it's better than episode 1?
No, I think it's D. I think I'm throwing it.
No, it's not better than episode 1. It's for sure not
Do
better
you
than
think it's
episode 1.
better than The Last Jedi or whatever the fuck this movie's
It's better
called?
than Rise of Skywalker. It is definitely better than Rise of
Yeah.
Skywalker.
All right.
I
We'll
keep
keep
it.
it.
I keep it C. I keep
We'll
it
keep
You're
it
either
C.
gonna put it at the top of D or the very bottom.
Let's
of
just have it
C.
at the very bottom of C. Like it's like a
Okay.
solid Clone Wars episode, but it's
It's
not even.
like-
It wouldn't even be like a top 20 Clone Wars episode.
It would be a good episode. You're like, oh, that's kind of tricky how they did that, and like so it's kind of coming up. But she's like a fucking teenager with all these like, nah, it's not. It's not the best. I'd say that where it's at now would probably be like the where it's gonna stay maybe.
Yeah.
Bad Batch I wouldn't put so high because like it's good, but it's like I think like it's just it could use a lot more.
Yeah, I'll let you figure out like Bad Batch and Rebels since I'm not that deep into them. And I don't think Jaden is either.
I'd
Yeah,
say
this one and then these two, I have no idea.
I'd say Rebels second. No, I'd say Bad Batch second to last, and then Rebels like third to last. Because they're good. And some people that watch Rebels more than me are probably gonna be like liking it and all, but
It just kind of seems like a knockoff of like Clone Wars to me.
No, some of there's some shit though, like the man, like because he like one of the dude, like the whole team, like he runs into some dude who's like a Jedi back in the day, and he kind of like disables, like he kind of disassembles his lightsaber to try like stay hidden, and this is like when the Empire is strong.
Yeah.
You end up running into like Captain Rex but he's like old as fuck about to die because he's like like it's been a while since the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Ahsoka shows up though, and she fights Vader, but the animation style is weird. Like the lightsabers were like super skinny, and like Vader's like mask is all weird. But bro, when Ahsoka fights Vader, like it's crazy. One of like the best, one like top 10, probably 10 or 11 like fights. Like when she goes in there and fights, but like Rebels ain't too crazy. They kind of get like I remember it being on Disney XD, and like they really like fucking. They went like oh, it was PG-13 as fuck. Bad Batch was good, but I just don't think like it was like they're kind of borrowing a lot off of the Clone Wars. They didn't really get like a lot of.
Are they still making it, or was it just like a
Thank you.
one season type thing?
I think they just made the second season, or they're gonna make the third season. But it was not.
I think
bad.
I think the Bad Batch could be something that could
Thank you.
culminate into a good series. I don't know, maybe if it would rival like the Clone Wars, but I think it has potential like to get to that point. 'Cause I like the idea of focusing on like one like clone unit. You ever play that game Star Wars fucking Commando or whatever?
Mm-mm.
With those dudes, yeah.
There's like 4 of them. It was like on Xbox. I
Like
feel like that's
elitely trained dude. Yeah, they have like like that.
Oh,
the
Republic
visor is,
Commando.
like, blue. Yeah, no,
It
that
was
game-
like Dead Space, but like Star Wars. And you're like these. I think there's 4 or 5 of them, and it's like a little group of clones. And like I remember, like I don't know if it's like the whole game's on like one ship, but like I remember you like board the ship and it's like fucking like deserted. There's like no lights, and it's almost kind of like tactical a little bit, and it's a little Dead Spacey. It's a really good game. I think you can I can get it on my PS5, so you might be able to get it on the PS4. I would recommend playing it. It's badass. That's kind of like the vibes I get from the Bad Batch. Like I think it could be cool if they maybe lean that route a little bit.
I think they do like they have. I'd put it probably better than Rebels because they do have this really good like. See, like because they're all clones, but they're all defective. Like the Clone Force 99. Like one's like a sniper guy. They're not like so defective, but they kind of have like more, big fucking dude. One's like a fucking nerd, and then like Echo kind of I don't know, he's on some extra shit, but the one's like kind of the leader. But like when Order 66 happens, like they're like on a mission, and all the other clones like they go traitor and shit, but they're kind of like
Nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, they're not as like and they come in at the end of Clone War, like the series. So like I know I know them. So like at the end of Clone Wars that you kind of
are they in the Clone Wars show?
Yeah. They're like they have their own episode. It's called like the Bad Batch.
There's like 4
is it
or 5,
just at the end?
Yeah, like the last
like the very last season. There's like 4 or 5 episodes there, and they're good. Like Tarkin's in it later because he's trying to take away like
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, and he's like, nah, we're gonna just bring regular people, but like the Chip ends up working on one of them, so like it's like one of them with the Empire against like them, and
that sounds tight.
There's a girl clone actually, so it's like Boba Fett's like DNA still, but they made a girl out of her for some fucking reason.
I honestly, like I said, I think it could turn into a really good show.
It could be,
like,
yeah.
Once if they keep making some seasons and build on it.
Well, and I think if they couldn't kind of like show more like things on the side, like they have Tarkin in there, kind of showing the transition from clones to like actual people. I think they could show a lot of cool things. You could show like kind of the beginning of the Empire, like maybe you could probably work Vader in somehow, kind of show what he's doing at the time.
Maybe they try to take a shot at Vader and then they're like kind of getting their ass whooped. And they like gotta fucking beat feed out of there, and
they brought Rex into it for a little bit. I'm like, damn, boy, like they're like just happened like the Order 66, so he's still
Rex
is
dope. Rex
is the best. Yeah,
with them fucking pissed the dual blickies.
Bro, Rex might
getting
after it out there. Go on a crazy mission towards the end, just like
him and Ahsoka just G'd up.
There's actually some scenes in the Bad Batch, like they're like scene for scene shots of like the Revenge of the Sith and all. Like when Ahsoka's gone on her last mission, actually in the Clone Wars, like she's gone on her last mission, like that's when they're like, oh, we fucking tracked down Grievous. We're about to go
fucking run his face.
Yeah, they overlap. That's what's so cool about it.
That's sick.
Yeah, I don't think I'd move this. I'd move the Phantom Menace above Boba Fett. I think.
Book of Boba Fett don't deserve all that respect.
It's a good show. But it's like it's called Book of Boba Fett, but it's really like the Mandalorian season 3. So it kind of
is the Mandalorian in it.
Yeah.
Like one episode.
It's all tied together. Yeah.
And his like girl back there, so she comes at the very, very end when he lands, and he's like, "Come on."
Oh yeah, they do. They have a whole episode where it's just the Mandalorian. Like Boba Fett's not even in it.
She's like leaning on like a fucking rock or something. And then he lands, and he's like, "Oh, I need you for a job." And like that's the next episode. Like I think Book of Boba Fett should be below the Bad Batch because Book of Boba Fett had all his work done for it. Everything else kind of had to build on its own.
Book of Boba Fett was a great bridge, I think, between the Mandalorian seasons. Like it's really good at doing that job, and I think that's what it was for.
I fuck with Boba Fett, but I wouldn't really I'm not dying for one of his shows,
I fucks with it.
What's cool is it's the same actor from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
because he's like the right age because it's like been like 20 years, I think.
That works out really well.
So we're going into D tier. I would move Rise of Skywalker last.
Solo first, Visions middle. So
yeah,
even though Visions got some like dog shit episodes.
This movie as a whole dog shit.
I'd say the movie would be better than Visions, honestly.
All right,
we can move it because I ain't seen Visions.
You're the only one that's seen it, so you're the only one that can rank that.
Remember, there was this one. I did not click on it because there was this one episode.
Is there one episode that's better than this entire movie? Or take the best episodes that you think as a
Oh,
whole,
man.
and are those best episodes better than this
You're
entire?
right. Yeah. Move Vision's up.
Okay,
Vision's
I
up.
So
figured.
like
I figured.
I forgot. I have to like show you which one. There's some that are like you're like, damn, these are like because it's the whole Star Wars universe, but it's gonna be like a 20-minute like episode. They don't gotta do anything crazy for it, like
Yeah.
story wise. So they'll just kind of just throw some like shit in there. And they'll flesh it out real good, but it's like, damn.
yeah, I've watched 2 episodes and one of them was terrible. It had like this band, like it was like this rock, it was like this rock band, like, and I was like, this doesn't feel like Star Wars at all. Like, get this shit out of here, man. It felt like just like some weird anime, like it put. So okay, before we end this, is there anything positive we can say about the Rise of Skywalker? I think there's a few positives.
I have to think for a second.
I don't completely hate the movie.
I don't really remember anything good about the movie.
So Leia, like the flashback with Leia, like training as a Jedi was cool. The Force Ghost Luke was kind of cool.
Is this the movie where they're all like riding the little ships across like the fucking desert?
No,
Is that this one?
was that with the red smoke, or is that like?
And then like there's that fucking Asian girl and she like drops that thing and like falls down like the detonator or some shit.
Oh no, that's a
Okay, it's not this one.
that's the last or the last Jedi. Yeah, it's the last Jedi.
At the white
Alright.
planet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, not this one.
So-
Never mind.
Palpatine being included was cool. I just didn't like the execution.
I don't think it was
of
necessary, especially with them not doing it right.
I thought it was kind of cool, like his like the lightning thing at the end, like that was pretty cool.
We were in theaters and like the noise is like.
Yeah, it's- the
like, oh
CGI
my
and like the
God.
look of like the new trilogy, like it looks amazing. Like it looks badass.
This is good because like you got the
It's
full
crisp.
effect
Yeah,
and all.
watch it in IMAX. It sounds like it's.
No,
fucking
I will
sick.
say upon initial viewing, like me and him went and saw it together. I liked the movie initial viewing. It was when I watched it a second time, like after the hype died
Yeah.
down, where
Yeah,
I was
kinda
like,
your
this
fan
movie's
for it.
actually terrible.
I remember seeing this one scene that if I saw it in the movie, I would have been like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I saw like a fucking trailer for it. It's like when all those ships show up at the end, like Lando brings all the gang together and like they kind of come to save it. And I was like, man, I fucking saw that in like in the trailer. Like it's not gonna be so crazy. I know how they're gonna win at the end. Everyone's just gonna show up.
Well, there's never any doubt that the good guys were gonna win. Like when they kind of like killed Rey off, but then she got saved by a kiss. I was like, what the hell was that? Like, I would have liked the movie a lot better if Rey just sacrificed herself. Same thing like I was saying with Finn. At the end of the Last Jedi, he was about to sacrifice himself, and then they pussied out and had a Rose hit the ship, so he didn't do it. Like they had great moments where they could have made it a great movie, but they pussied out every time.
I think what was weird, they started introducing like force healing on some snake or some shit after they fell like in some sand trap, and then later like Kylo, she did it to Kylo, and then like Kylo, I let Kylo live. He somehow showed up and on no weapon, didn't even think about getting a blaster. Took out the Knights of Ren hella quick, and then went in and fought Palpatine and all. I thought Palpatine, even though like he's like in the comics like oh super strong and like crazy good with the lightsaber, even though he don't use it because he's so good with his force powers, he went out like a bitch every single movie he was in. Kind of electrocuted by his damn self.
I wish he was like not so like they're gonna bring him back. I wish he wasn't like basically like he couldn't move and shit. Like I wish he could have like had a lightsaber and stuff. I think that would have made it a lot cooler of a movie if he was like in his original body or a body that could move around and stuff. But he was just kind of like in this thing, like kind of standing still and like
But the fights he had in the Revenge of the Sith, like he was fucking killing people left and right.
Hate to see it.
yeah, not a good movie, but
Trash.
I was making.
I'll probably never watch it again. I'll never.
I was
watch
just telling him that I was like, I don't think I'll ever watch that movie again.
Watched it again recently, but
I'll probably never watch Solo again.
I might watch it. I might watch it again.
Not bad.
I'm
It's so
good.
deep, but not bad.
Seen it once.
It's like every once in a while kind of thing, but every once.
I'll probably watch just about all the other ones again. Like I don't know about the shows, like because like that's a big commitment, like
Sure.
like of time.
Mandalorian's like a small enough show you can get through.
The Mandalorian is a show I would rewatch from the beginning again.
Oh yeah.
I might actually rewatch it before the next
Oh,
season
it's
comes
good.
out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna for sure.
I was just about to say
That's
that.
good.
All right.
Howard Shaw, the acting in it, it's so good. Like it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything other than Obi-Wan show, but
Where would you throw Obi-Wan? I'd say maybe
I
like
put Obi-Wan like I'll probably have it like A, maybe B. Yeah,
we'll see
because
how they take it.
there's like no, I would have it A because like I don't even hate the stuff that other people hated about it. Like Reva, like a lot of people hated Reva. Like
Oh, yeah,
she's
it
like
was
this
great.
she's like one of Vader's like
Yeah.
right hand people. A lot of people hated her. I thought she was fine. Like I liked her motivations. I thought they made sense.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty cool. But a lot of people just hated the show. Like not hated the show, but didn't. That was like the thing they didn't like about the show. But I liked it, so I'd probably have it as an A. It just
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I think A would be good for it.
Andor is another show that's not on this list. I know it's
have not-
super
I
new.
haven't watched it yet. I need to
So,
watch it.
I mean,
I was
if it was on here, it'd be down here in this lot.
I heard it was good though.
I wanted to
I've heard
watch it
mixed-
for today, but I
I've heard mixed stuff on it. I guess just to recap out of this bottom list, those are all just Clone War seasons. This is just a Mandalorian season.
See the Obi-Wan one? He's wearing like Darth Maul's like Mandalorian armor. Like oh no, that one, like the Darth Maul ones are so good, but yeah, like Rebels and all that.
We haven't seen Resistance.
No.
And then that's the only thing. Just other Rebels and Clone Wars episodes or
When
seasons.
Thrawn comes in, Thrawn is like a really good part of Rebels. Like
I hope they bring Thrawn into the Mandalorian.
oh,
Or no, he's probably gonna be in Ahsoka because they're making an Ahsoka
I
show.
hope he does come to the Mandalorian. I think hopefully they all kind of like connect and all. With how, like,
See, they're kind of creating their own like
Mandalorian.
MCU type deal with the shows where they're all like super connected and they have like they're crossing over and
That's
stuff.
the
Like I
way
think
to
it's
go,
super
right?
cool.
If you got like the next, like I'm going, like they figured all this shit like kind of connecting and all. Like,
See, I think the next movies are gonna be good. Like we're saying, if like Dave Filoni and John Favreau are
Just
like,
let them
in
make
charge.
fucking everything, or at
Yeah.
least have some sort of creative hand in it. They don't gotta be the directors, but like let them in on literally like decisions for the plot, story. Like those dudes are goated. They know their shit. They are invested. They care. They listen to the fans. Like let them in on it. Everything.
Yeah,
You might as well promote them up even fucking higher.
I'm like so like at this moment, I'm like currently like pretty happy with like this general state of where Star Wars is because of them too.
I would
Like,
say
it was a little rocky at
since the
first,
new
but now
trilogy,
it's
yes.
back.
Yeah.
I feel like Star Wars is in a good place. Like they're about to
Kick out some heat.
take it back to the where it was. I think
For sure.
Yeah, I think the Mandalorian like really reignited like that spark for a lot of people.
Oh
They
yeah.
started making like all
It was
these like
so good.
after season one, they announced all those shows like Acolyte, which I really don't know what it's about, but like Andor and like Rangers of the New Republic, which got canceled because
Yo, have you seen the slightly off topic, but it's still a Star Wars topic. Have you seen the Knights of the Old Republic like videos?
Those are fun. I've showed
Nick,
those.
have you seen those?
Dude, they're
like
so,
the video game.
the cinematic trailers you're talking about.
Oh my god.
Bro, dude, that Bastila Shan is the bitch with the double bladed lightsabers. Like,
Are you about to pull up a whole video?
dude, yeah, I don't know. Dude, but
I'll pull it up and then we can show it after we're done.
We could cut the episode like here, and then we could just like watch
Oh,
the
I
video.
I'm gonna recap. We're gonna recap the tier list. I
Okay.
just want to pull this up real fast. That way we
like
can watch
but
it.
They have like there's like a
Oh, it's fucking
3
insane.
or 4 different ones. Yeah, no, like that. No, dude, no,
I
there's
think this
the brothers. No, there's like a
It's the two brothers, but I don't know what the fuck it's called. All right, well, I'll look it up after this.
no, it's the Knights of the Republic, the cinematic trailers for it. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's, like,
Are
this
they making a
one-
new one or something?
No, it's like an old computer game, like with Red.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, I remember
There's
that
this
shit.
shit. Yeah, but they're making a new one. But yeah, there's like a
Oh, it's so good.
oh,
Well,
no, that shit was-
I'll pull it up, but we'll just kind of recap through our list. So S tier in order, we got Empire Strikes Back, episode 2 or episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. We have the Clone Wars, show as an entire whole.
Yeah.
Rogue One, the independent movie, and then the Mandalorian show as an entire whole. Rounding out the S tier, we got episode 4, New Hope, sitting at the lone spot in the A tier. And B, we got Return of the Jedi, episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and then we got The Force Awakens rounding out B. C is our biggest spot. We have The Last Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Bad Batch, Boba Fett, Star Wars Rebels, and then the Clone Wars movie. Does that say movie on it down there at the bottom?
I think it does.
So. Damn.
I don't know why these pictures are so small. No, it doesn't. I don't know. It's just a placeholder for our other movie. I don't know. D tier, we have not good. We got Solo, Star Wars Visions, and then the last movie, and I still can't remember its name because I couldn't be
The
fucking
Rise of Skywalker.
couldn't be fucking bothered.
Is there any you guys would put from B into A since A is by itself, or do you think like A New Hope is like kind of?
I would
I
put two.
could argue putting like all three of those in the A. Like, well, actually, no, I'd probably leave Force Awakens at B.
I could argue too. I love the back half of that movie so much.
See, like Attack of the Clones would be,
But it's not as a
so good if they
whole.
cut it, like
Yeah, maybe just Return of the Jedi. I think these two would lock B down. This one is the only one that you could consider moving, but I think
the pacing's weird in Attack of the Clones because like he goes and slaughters that village and gets his mom, and then like they're chilling for like a while.
and then she dies. That shit was so sad. I was like, bro, you're so close.
They go to that planet, and then he's like, "My mom's been a slave for like 20 years." She's like, "Shit, we're on vacation. Let's go get her." Like,
there's so many things cool about that movie. Like that's the first movie where they, like chronologically, where they show the Death Star. Like and then the guy on the planet has the plans on Geonosis. Like he has the Death Star plans, which is super cool. And then they show like Uncle Owen and stuff, and all that is kind of cool.
You remember Obi-Wan got captured? That's kind of when they had to go there to go rescue him. And then Dooku's like, there's some like a Sith is in charge of the Senate, and he's just like,
No.
We would know that.
Those little bitch fit.
The Jedi are stupid. Like,
yeah, they fucking dropped the bag.
They're idiots. Like I can't
They're
stress
sitting
it
on their
enough.
high horse.
Yeah,
And they thought they were untouchable.
They deserved it, low key. Like honestly.
Yeah, the Sith. They said they did what they needed to do.
back in the day, there used to be a hella Sith. If it was like back then, they would be destroyed. Now there's only like one or two going on.
Yeah.
But,
Well, before we end this segment, do you guys have any closing comments or anything else you would like to discuss?
I'd say you guys should watch the Clone Wars show. Like,
Oh,
it is
yeah,
a
100%.
lot. Definitely like what Nick did, the main episodes on all, and then go back for the because some of the fillers are like Padme and fucking gets
dumb-
an
just
episode.
dumb episodes.
C-3PO and Padme
There
and
is this one
Jar Jar.
droid episode though.
Yeah,
It's
Jar
on
Jar is a
villains.
Sith Lord, all right?
There's just one. Fuck.
Conspiracy.
There's
We
this
could put
one-
that in the conspiracy theory episode. Jar Jar being
there's-
Sith Lord.
There's this one really, really good episode, and it has Jar Jar in for half of it.